Ozzy has been producing hits for years now, but lately he's came with a whole new sound and it's honestly genius. To better understand what I mean, let's take a listen to Hop Out the Van by Offset. Produced alongside Q-Beats, Klimper Boy and Packness, the song is obviously 3 6 Mafia inspired with a dark piano melody and some sampled rap vocals. Ozzy's 3 6 Mafia influence is even clearer to see on another Offset song, Jealousy, featuring Cardi B, where he literally samples the legendary hip-hop group. Now we understand the influence for Ozzy's sound, let's try and make something similar. First, you need a simple dark piano melody, something like this. To make it sound more vintage and sampled, I added a compressor, 2 tape effects, a reverb, halftime, and EQ. After that, I moved on to the vocals. I jumped on Splice and found this.
It's a vibe, baby. You on the grind, baby.
I then chopped it up before adding EQ and reverb. As Hop Out the Van progresses, a string sound comes in, replacing the piano, giving Offset more room to rap. It does sound a bit empty though, so I started on the drums to uncover how Ozzy made such a unique bounce. It all starts with the 808. Normally I'll go with the snare or hi-hats first, but the 808 on this track gives the main part of the bounce. It's the small pockets in between the notes that are going to give you the bounce. The next step is to fill some of those spaces. I started with a rim and snare. The way Ozzy used the rim is super creative. We've all added snare rolls to our beats, but in the Hop Out the Van beat, it's used almost like a hi-hat. After that, there's a more simple hi-hat and kick because the 808 and rim are doing so much of the work. As the song progresses, you can hear a synth lead playing an eerie counter melody, so I added this sound from Synth Diaries playing these notes. If you want to get any of my kits like Synth Diaries, we're doing a huge Black Friday sale right now. Everything is at least 50% off, so hit the link in the description if you're interested. Finally, in Jealousy, there's another piano that's used very sparingly to transition between sections, something like this. Based on our research for beat 1, we know Ozzy is using nostalgia and sampling to create his own unique sound. Our next beat is the perfect example of that. Take a listen to Jack Harlow's latest song.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby.
They sampled Cadillac Dale's Whatever.
I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down.
And to make something similar, all we need is 2 things. Number 1, a synth bass. I used this Korg Triton sound, an instrument synonymous with the 90s, and played out this melody. It has a chorus and distortion on it to make it feel really big. And number 2, of course, is some vocals. I once again jumped on Splice and found this loop.
You want this, I'll make it right for you.
I then chopped it up and added some reverb, alter boy, reels, delay, and EQ. The melody is just that simple, however Ozzy's genius gets clearer to see with the drums. To see the drum inspiration, we need to listen to this legendary Drake song.
I'm the fucking man, y'all don't get it, do you? Type of money, everybody acting like they knew you.
However, Ozzy didn't just copy the drums. Let's take a look at how he modernized them and made them his own. First, we have a snare hitting where the kick usually does, something producers don't really do anymore. Then there's a clap with reverb. After that is a lot of percussive layering. We have 2 hi-hats and an open hat. And to add to the 90s vibe of the track, I put down a vocal chop, which is something Timbaland used to do all the time. This part of the drums is very similar to the Motto. Where Ozzy modernized it mostly comes in the low end. First, he added a kick. And finally, there's a subby bass sound laid under the pre-existing bass in the sample. This gives it that low-end club feel, and lets the listener know it was definitely a song made in 2023. Ozzy realized that nobody is truly original. Everyone takes inspiration from somewhere, and it's how you use that inspiration that determines your creativity. Combining a 90s sample with a 2010s drum bounce for Lovin On Me is pure genius, and it shows how copying can actually be the greatest form of creativity.